to another episode of the Meathead on the Mic podcast. It's your boy, the returning champion, IFBB PRO. Can't put on lean muscle, or the number one thing that you know you need to do that you're not doing yet, that is holding you back from putting on lean muscle tissue in 2023. All right. So when you join, let me know if you're watching this on the live stream or if you're watching this on the replay. If you're watching this live with me, I want you to know you have the ability to ask questions and have me answer you directly at the end of the episode. And if you're watching this live, I want you to hashtag I'm here in the comment section below so that I know you're watching with me. And if you're watching this on the replay, hashtag replay so that I know you guys and girls are watching, listening, staying tuned. Again, you have full authority. Okay. You can ask questions. That's what I want you to do on this episode. All right. But as usual, as I go through the podcast episode, I won't be responding until the very end so that we can get a good soundbite for those that are listening on Spotify and on Apple Podcasts. All right. So how's your day going? What's good, Joe? What's good, Luds? Yo, Boa, what's up? Jazzveer, what's good? I see you, Quado. What's good? Quado, what's good, man? Good afternoon. Have the full ability to ask questions in this episode. And at the very end, I will be responding to as many questions as I can. All right. So stay tuned, stick around. We will be diving into today's podcast episode in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Yo, what's good? What's happening? Welcome to another episode of the Meathead on the Mic podcast. It's your boy, the returning champion, IFBB PRO Matt Butale, coming at you with another topic. And today, what we will be discussing is the number one thing that you know you need to be doing that you're not doing in order to put on lean muscle tissue in 2023. All right. So again, this is something that you might have revisited in your head over and over whenever you thought about committing to a fitness journey. Okay. And I'm going to bring up to you what is already obvious, but it's these simple things that once you really get a grip on them, you will see the change that you want so badly in your physique. You know, putting on the lean muscle tissue, burning the fat, getting rid of the love handles, getting rid of the man boobs, changing your physique comes down to this one thing. And honestly, I've been getting a fuck ton of DMs about this. All right. So I want to talk about this and I want to bring it to your attention. Okay. So the number one thing that you need to do in 2023, if you want to change your body, specifically, if you want to put lean muscle on your physique, which you know you already have to do that you are not doing yet, is analyzing your level of discipline. Okay. So I'm going to walk you through a little bit of a story here. Yesterday, I got a DM from somebody. Actually, I'll just say his abbreviated name because there's so many of these people out there. His name is Mike, right? So Mike comes up to me in my DM and he goes, Matt, I'm struggling with putting on lean muscle. So I go, okay, well, what are you struggling with specifically? And he goes, nothing in particular. Like, I do understand that I've got to get a certain amount of calories if I want to grow, i.e. calorie surplus. He also understands that he has to get a certain amount of protein in, that's how we're going to grow muscle. And he also understands that he also has to train as hard as he fucking can each and every single day so that he can put himself in the best, most optimal position to be utilizing the protein and keeping his body at least in the most efficient state of protein muscle synthesis for him to grow muscle. So I said, awesome. You have all this knowledge. You know exactly what you're supposed to be doing. And fuck, you've been listening to Meathead on the Mic podcast. No wonder. But aside from that, the reason why he wasn't able to put on lean muscle by himself, and the reason why he even reached out to me in the first place, was because despite all of that knowledge, despite even the years that he's had in the gym, whether they were consistent or inconsistent, he noticed that he knew a lot more than he did. Okay, he knew a lot more than he did. And that sounds kind of confusing, but let me break it down because I can fucking promise you, every single one of you listening to this episode is doing this. If you aren't where you want to be with your physique yet, you are doing what I'm talking about right now. Okay, and I'm definitely guilty of doing this in the past. And even now, if I'm being honest, like I still do this in other fields of my life, just not really fitness. All right, so and that thing is having a fuck ton of information, going out, doing loads of research, packing your brain up full of knowledge, which is great. I encourage you guys and girls do that. And then doing absolutely fucking nothing about it. Absolutely nothing about it. So like you know what you're supposed to do. You could even build out a game plan or a pathway to on this journey of yours for your fitness so you can burn the fat, so you can drop the water weight, so you can get leaner, put on leaner tissue, get stronger, look better, get more confident, all of those things, all of the above. Like, you know what you need to do in order to get there, but the reason why you're not there is because you aren't doing the things that you know. So you know what you need to do, but you aren't doing what you know you're supposed to do. So that's the biggest gap with 90 fucking 5% of people that come into my DMs. They are aware of what they are supposed to be doing, but they just don't know why they're not doing it. They don't know. Okay. And it's like, you can call that a form of self sabotage. Absolutely. Because it is. But I think it goes a little bit deeper than that. It's not just on the surface level of self sabotage. I think that you know so much that you might either A, be too afraid to commit because it's like, how am I going to incorporate everything at once right now and get all the results that I want right now? Which is not the way to think about it, because that's sort of like an all or nothing mindset. And the moment that you have a tiny hiccup, you're going to throw away the whole plan, or you're going to throw away your whole commitment, or you just aren't going to be as disciplined. And so what I told to Mike was, man, you know pretty much what you're supposed to be doing. So why are you reaching out to me? Then Mike goes, he's like, well, to be honest with you, I've made progress, I've regressed, and I noticed that loop was going on over and over again. And the main reason because of that was, number one, my consistency sucked like shit, and I was not disciplined. And I'm like, okay, so you know, not only do you know what you're supposed to do, you know what you're doing wrong. And now the question becomes, how do you fix that? Okay, you have all the knowledge in your head, but you can't apply it because of what barrier? The barrier of lack of consistency, which also sort of funnels into the lack of results. Because if you're not consistent, how can you get results, right? And so, in order to become consistent, you will have to be disciplined, not motivated, but disciplined. There's a difference. There's a difference, and if you don't know it, let me lay it down for you over here. All right. So the difference, in my opinion, and in the opinion, I'll speak on behalf of those that actually achieve shit, is motivation. This is what they say: motivation is for boys and discipline is for men. Motivation is for boys, discipline is for men. And so what does that mean? That means, well, let's put it this way. Remember when you got graded on your little kindergarten spelling test and they gave you a sticker, or they gave you a lollipop, or you went to the dentist and they gave you a lollipop for being a good boy? I'm pretty sure you were motivated to be a good boy the next time you went to do your little spelling test, or go to the doctors to get your needle, or go to the dentist to get a filling, right? So you knew, okay, well, in order to get this candy, I've got to be a good boy. So I'm motivated to be a good boy, right? And since that's the case, that's just sort of how you sort of adapt to reward, right? I will be good because of the reward. Whereas in discipline is, I will be good regardless. I am not doing this for a pat on the back. I am not doing this so that you can see me. I am not doing this for any other reason than I am supposed to do this. And when you put that like barrier in between, or when you draw the line in the sand between motivation and discipline, you'll see that on both sides, they're both doing something. The root of why they're doing is very fucking different. One is doing strictly for the reward, and the other one is just fucking doing it. And it's so backwards because the person that just focuses on doing it actually gets way more results than the person that is motivated to do the thing for the reward, right? So motivation is way weaker in comparison to discipline. It's why I always say, like, don't only train in a way that you like. Put some things in there that you don't really like to do that you can perform that will give you results. Because if you can sort of deal with a little bit of discomfort every single day, then being disciplined is just second nature, because you're already practicing that every day. And it also goes into, if you're a little bit extreme, taking cold showers in the morning or doing cold plunges. That's not a fucking pleasant experience. But the reason why people do it is not because they're motivated. First of all, there's no real reward other than the fact that they get to focus harder, right? And that's not really a tangible reward. That's something that is in the line of discipline. So people that even do that, they're disciplined enough to do that in order to strengthen their discipline, right? So it's like a circular sort of thing where they're strengthening their willpower. And it comes with anything, just doing anything that you do not really like to do, but doing it like you love it, not only for the results, but because you know it's going to be making you better. Okay, so motivation and discipline. Those that are motivated are like Mike. Those that are motivated will try for a couple of weeks, try for a couple of months, even years, and then regress. And then go through this up and down, roller coaster sort of thing where they're not really getting the results that they want. And they're, blaming their lack of motivation for it, because they're saying, well, because I'm not motivated, I'm not consistent. And I say no. And let's just be fucking man to man here. This is Meathead on the Mic podcast. This episode is specifically for men that really want to get lean in 2023. I say it's not your lack of motivation, it's your lack of discipline. Because if you were just disciplined, you could literally shit and vomit and have a nosebleed at the same time. And as long as you're not in the hospital, you're going to get done what you have to get done, whether that's going to work, whether that's going to the gym, whether that's, being the man for your wife, whatever the fuck it is, you're going to just do it on Nike. Just do it. I swear to God. And the difference between discipline is motivation is that nothing really causes the motivation or the discipline. It's just the order of things, like waking up, like brushing your teeth. I hope y'all brush your teeth. Like taking a shower. Please tell me you shower. But all these things, right? It's just discipline. And we could even like go down to like sort of the biomechanics of the body and how we're disciplined in that way. We don't fucking, and this is definitely going to vary for people that have eating disorders, but you don't necessarily like get motivated to get hungry. You just get hungry and then you eat, right? And again, I'm not including those that have eating disorders, but even them to an extent. Like your body will signal chemicals to your brain to let you know you're hungry. And does your body say, I'm not motivated to tell my body that I'm hungry? No, it just is hungry. That's the same thing with discipline. And if you can't fucking understand or even apply that, I'm not saying master it, but apply that, then there's no way in hell that you can get all that fucking beautiful knowledge you've got in your head and apply it to your physique and get the results that you want. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Because that's the main barrier. A lot of you guys will come in my DMs or come into the live stream or tell me you listen to the podcast or bump into me at the gym and say, Matt, I know X, Y, and Z, but I look like this and I want to know how I can change it. But my motivation sucks. And then I look at them, I'm like, you just told me your problem. So you can go fix it. Right? Work on, strengthening discipline. And as I said, there are many ways to work on strengthening your discipline. But the root of it is doing something that you kind of don't like to do, but the outcome of it is more important than your feeling in that moment. So I don't really like to change my daughter's diapers. I really don't like to change my or to go get my oil changed. But I understand if I don't change my oil, my car's gonna fuck up. And if I don't change my daughter, she's gonna get an infection or whatever it is. So understanding that there are negative repercussions to the lack of action and acting not only based on that, but based out of almost ritual and order is what, and I think, in my opinion, what creates a really disciplined man. Right? You go to work not because you feel like it. You go to work because you fucking have to, right? And even though you have to, you better do it like you love it because that's how you get better. Because if you just go in and you sandbag it and you half-ass it, then you're just not going to get anywhere. At best, you'll stay in the same position, and we already know what that is. If you're staying in the same position and time keeps on moving forward, for those of you watching, this is you, this is time, right? You're here, time is behind you, time passes you, you're still the same. Even if you are in the same spot, you are moving behind because time only goes in one direction. So you're either moving behind or you're getting ahead. And staying the same doesn't fucking count. And if you want to argue with me, you don't have to. Look in the mirror. It's fucking why you're listening to this episode right now. And if you don't understand this, then this episode is useless to you. If you aren't willing to apply this, this episode is especially useless to you because you're just going to be rinsing and repeating what you do before, which is mental masturbation. I've got the knowledge here. I know what to do there, this, that, the other thing, but I ain't going to fucking do it. Like, tell me how fucking silly that sounds. And you're probably cringing a little bit at yourself because this is fucking you. But again, I'm not here to roast you. As I said, this is something that even I still do to today, and I'm aware of it. As I, sharpen my knife and improve my discipline, I look back and just check off boxes that used to never get checked. That's the same thing you need to do. Get more comfortable with doing things that you don't really like to do, that you know are important to you, and the outcome of it is only beneficial towards who you're going to be tomorrow. Discipline over motivation. The lack of discipline and the praise of motivation is the number one reason why I believe that you, with all the knowledge in your fucking head, being as smart as you are and being able-bodied, cannot get the results that you fucking want, that you've calculated, that you've planned, that you should have by now. And like, look, I'm not just gonna sit here and like cook you up and say like, oh, you don't have discipline, you don't have motivation. Like maybe you are able to harness discipline, but you just need a kick in the ass to apply it. Because maybe you're a little bit too lenient on yourself, or maybe there are other obstacles or things in your life that make it too difficult for yourself to actually just rely on discipline, at least alone, which is where help comes in. You can ring up your old gym buddy or a friend that you know goes to the gym. Hey, man, let's like create the schedule where we're going 3 days a week or 4 days a week. All right, 5 days a week, whatever it is. Have an accountability buddy. Okay, and if you don't have any of those friends, there are communities. You can go on social media for fucking free $3.99. And you go into these communities and you talk to them and you build friends and you build relationships and you figure out who can help you along the way, who can help you strengthen your discipline, who can help you become more accountable to yourself. Okay. And if you're super serious and you know that those things I just said, they sound good, but you wouldn't really fucking do them, then you're like me. And you're the type of person that honestly has to put some fucking skin in the game in order to actually be committed, in order to actually be disciplined. There has to be a trade off, right? And that trade off could be an investment. That trade off could be extra time. That trade off could be fucking anything that it is, but you've got to give something or sell it to buy your fucking discipline if you don't want to do the things that I just mentioned, because that's the final step. And for me, I'll tell you, I was fucking stubborn as shit. Like I had all the knowledge for a long period of time and just haven't applied it. Like I've been in your shoes, just like Mike, right? But the main difference that set me aside from just thinking about shit and doing mental masturbation and fucking doing it, let alone doing it well, exceeding my expectations and, making my dreams come true. The difference between that version of myself, the old me, and the me that's actually fucking grinding is the fact that I hired the help. Just that fact. Because the resources, just like Google, just like YouTube, just like anything, they're all out there and they will always be there. But who the fuck, if it's not me, is going to help me apply this? It's got to be a professional. It's got to be somebody that's done this before, done this for other people, and done it well on both sides. That's how I look at it. And with that, I was able to put some skin in the game. I invested, and I'm speaking specifically, not even just with coaching in terms of like bodybuilding, which I've done that, but also with business mentorship. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I had all this knowledge in my head, but like, okay, I wasn't disciplined enough to apply it now. Okay. And so I reached out to Brian, Mark, and Cole, and they were able to actually help me tailor in my accountability and discipline myself to a degree that I've never been disciplined before. And not just that, but allow me to get a system in my brain that I can use over and over again that'll help me to continue increase my discipline over time. Meaning I will consistently improve over time with my discipline. And how did I get to that point with my stubborn ass who just likes to read shit and think they know everything and not really reach out for help? I fucking hired them. And sometimes for people, that's what they need to do. Like, think of it like therapy too. This is cringe too, especially for the guys. Like, you've been dealing with certain mental issues for years and years and years and years, and you know it's fucking plaguing you, but you're not doing anything about it. Maybe you reach out to a friend, a brother, an uncle, whoever it is, and you're able to get some form of goodness out of that, and then boom, you're back in the bottom because you're not constantly tending to it. You don't have someone holding you accountable for your emotional intelligence, specifically speaking in that case, right? So having somebody in your corner that is teaching you not just what the fuck to do when it comes to eat, because you probably already know that, or how the fuck to train, because you probably already know that, but how to be disciplined through accountability that you can't offer yourself because you've tried and failed so many times. That's the key. And if you don't want to believe it for you, believe it for me, because that's how I got to this position. Literally. Self-employed for over 3 years. IFBB Pro at 23. Naturally. Impacting people's lives around the world, far outside of my continent. Things that I thought was just like, I literally have these things written down in like a journal here for those of you watching live. These are things that I wrote down in my journal that I said that one day maybe I'll be able to do, maybe. Okay. And just another thing too, writing in the journal, I thought that was weird, but that also helps your discipline too. Reading books, I thought that was weird, but that also helps your discipline too. Right. So doing things that you don't necessarily like or 100% agree with, but understand that there's an outcome on the other end that is literally calling for you to reach. That's the key. All right. So what I want for you to do in this episode, guys, girls, listen, whoever the fuck is listening, don't just sit here and say, wow, that was awesome. And I love what you said, blah, blah, blah. No, just do what the fuck I'm asking you. That's all. And just doing that alone is going to give you the results that you know you could actually get, because you do have the knowledge, right? You know how to train, right? So let's get fucking disciplined, because with and through this discipline comes consistency, and with consistency comes results. And if you can always be disciplined, you can always be consistent. And if you can always be consistent, you can always get results and improve every fucking step of the way. Is that clear? Does that make sense to you? If it does, nod your head silently if you're watching this on the live stream, if you're listening to this on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. If this fucking makes sense, Don't even fuck that. Don't even nod to this. If this makes sense, fucking do it. And I'll show you how much more sense it makes when you look in the mirror and you're seeing the fat come off and you're seeing the muscle come on and you're watching your confidence build. Like, I'm not making any of this shit up. I myself am a student of what I am telling you because I have been the guy with a fuck ton of knowledge and absolutely zero discipline. Okay. And then when I looked in the mirror and realized, let's flip the switch, let me hire the help, let me get someone in my corner that's actually rooting for me, not just to do what I know I'm supposed to do, but to keep me accountable so that I never stop doing it. And lo and behold, if you're watching live, you can see behind me. That's the pro card. Like that was that was that era. That was that arc. That's how that happened. All right. So the number one thing I want y'all to take away from this episode is not even to take anything away. It's to do something about it. All right. Fucking do something about it. Okay. That's it. That's all. If you like this episode, share it out with a friend. I hope I was able to deliver a valuable experience to you guys and girls today. If you want to reach out to me and have me as your accountability buddy, being the head of the Natural Nomad Academy and an IFBB Pro, and you want my professional help, shoot me a DM on whatever social media platform you're watching this on. If it's Insta, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, wherever it is, shoot me a message and I'll see if I can help you out. Again, I don't take everybody. I only take those that are actually willing to listen, not just to listen, but to apply and then to comply and show me the results along the way so that we can make the changes in order to get the body that we promise we can get them at the Natural Nomad Academy. All right. So that's it. That's all. Let's embrace your inner meathead together. Hope you like chatting. Hope you like what today's topic was about. IFBB Pro, Matt Butale, signing out. Boom. All right, folks. The episode is juicy. I fucking loved it. Let's go over here and see some of the comments and shout out some of the people that tuned in on Insta and TikTok. Shout out to everybody on TikTok. We're almost at 3,000 likes today. That's pretty cool. Joe, what's good? I see you, homie. This is Instagram. Let's see here. Let's see. Hi, what's up? I see you, Quado. What's good, bro? Dre Day, Big GBP. I see you. Big Nimrod in the house. Yeah, you know what time it is. Let's see here. Yo, Leaky Wagwan. What's up, bro? Arrogant Bastard. What's good? That's a funny name. Dyna Mike. Hope you're doing good, bro. Alam, what's up? Jasphere, what's good, bro? He says thoughts on cold plunge. I don't do it. But the only thing closest I would do to that is like an ice bath, and that would be mainly for a functional thing. But there's also the other side of the functional thing, which is like, and it ties into this episode perfectly, which is building discipline. So cold plunges for discipline. I know people that have done it. It's amazing because if you're doing something like that, which is so fucking like unpleasurable, and like, you know, people usually do that in the morning, they're usually able to strengthen their discipline to levels they never thought that they had, or their willpower just gets stronger. So I like it in terms of the concept of improving, you know, self-improvement. I love the cold plunge idea, but I have not really fully applied that. My sort of thing would be cold shower, like plunge where I sit in there for like, you know what I mean? Don't do it, but I really like the concept of it for the mental side and both the physical side. There are benefits everywhere. Liam, what's good? Jasper says consistency. Read my mind for the inner self. Totally, bro. Fuck yeah, you're listening, dude. I appreciate you, Jasper. Shout out to Jasper. Actually, he just passed his police test, so he's actually officially a legitimate cop. So shout out to you, right? Because I know that was a process, and I want to congratulate you on that, even though I already did. Ben, what's good? I see you, homie. Natural Nomad in the house. Arvin, what's up? Ben says laughing my fucking ass off. I don't know what I said that made you laugh, but I have a feeling like it was worth it. Jasper says love food too much. I mean that makes the both of us, man. That makes the both of us. So hey, what's good, Anthony? We got a nomad in the house. He's looking shredded as fuck. Straight demon says yes, sir. Joe Bada Bing says, I go to the gym every day, sometimes twice a day. I love that, bro. I love that. Do what you can and keep it up. Lizzie, what's good? She says, hi, Matt. I appreciate you. Anthony says, discipline demons. Let's go. Weak generation, too soft. Harden the fuck up. Yeah, I like this guy. See, it's guys like him. Okay. If you have at least some of what Anthony has in terms of that, like, get the fuck out of my way, I'm here to win mentality, then you and I should be working together because I work well with motherfuckers like that and they get the best results. So Lizzie says, sexy as fuck. Appreciate you. And she says, yes, sir. So she's agreeing. Joe, appreciate you. Clap, clap. You know what it is, bruh. Lizzie says, everything you say makes sense. I appreciate you. I mean, sometimes I say some pretty fucking stupid shit or like a joke and it just doesn't make sense, or like I talk over my tongue, but I appreciate you spell checking me there, homie. Lizzie says, I'm a meathead. You're juicy. Great lives as always, Pappy. You know what it is? It's nothing but love. Let's look at TikTok. Rylan, I can't pronounce your name properly, but he says, let him cook. I appreciate you. Nell, well, thanks for the follow. I appreciate you. Midnight Joker. So I see you there. Good afternoon. That's really random. Says, I'm not even going to read that because you almost got me there. That's so stupid. Caddy, what's good? Let's see. Daniel, what is good, Daniel? I know you're not here right now, but you sent this earlier. Daniel, what's good? Matt Witale, that's what he says. Marwan says, lots of hurting facts. I mean, the truth hurts, but it hurts good because once you heal, you on the other side of that is just going to be crazy. Daniel says, want to go rip a lift at Pure? Chest day at Pure? Yeah, we could train. We could train, definitely. I'm not opposed to that if you can hang. King says, oh, I got a gift from King Hezi. Thank you to you. He gave me another gift, badges and weights. Appreciate you. Chris asked a question saying motivational speech. Not really. This is more of like an instructional guide as to why you shouldn't rely on motivation. So not necessarily, but sort of on the head there, bro. Marwan says you need to learn discipline from somewhere, army or someone, quote unquote, an idol. I hear you. If you aren't able to learn it yourself, then you must how do you say? You must outsource it. Okay. Someone has to teach the kids the meaning of discipline. I 1000% agree, especially the kids that are coming up now that sort of get everything handed to them, including the law, which we're not here to talk about. That's just not today's episode. Let's see. Okay, I'm not even gonna talk about this freaking Justin Bieber shit. That's crazy. Rylan says, if you don't like what he's saying, it's about you. 1000%. 1000%. It's not always that way, but I think in today's episode, it definitely reflects that. All right, let's see here. Oh, I appreciate the follow, Rylan. Says, yes, sir. Good stuff, bro. Jess says, why does my ex try to make me feel bad for things I did when we were broken up, then ignores me? I'm not a relationship counselor. I'm sorry that you're going through that, but I'm not the one to help you there. That Nike mentality, just do it. Fuck yeah. This guy was really listening. I appreciate you, Rylan. You're a real supporter, man. All love, bro. All love, my guy. All right, people, that is it. That is all. That brings us to the end of today's episode. I hope you motherfuckers enjoyed that shit. We'll be back again, as you already know. Peace, love, motherfucking protein. IFBB Pro, Matt Butale, signing out.